All right, back in 1978, I got a decent job and I was 21 years old and still living at my parents' house, and I had money to burn. I was making $7.50 an hour, and it was more money than I could even spend in a month, just living at home. Paid a little bit for rent. So years go by and I'm wasting money on cars. And I'm at a party and a guy wipes out on this chopper. And the carburetor fell off, his legs all screwed up. And the dude these were my friends, and I took him to a party. And I had just finished up this 74 Chevelle, wasting all my money on that. I was working at a speed shop. And they said, Paul, you're going to have to ride this chopper, and then I'll ride the one that was more radical. It had a front end way out to hell. And I had been drinking and all kinds of stuff, and feeling pretty darn good. And I was like, man, I haven't ridden a motorcycle since the dirt bikes out in the fields. I had no registration. I didn't have glasses on. And it's nighttime, late, thinking I'm going to get busted. And it's a hot summer day, and all of a sudden I go out, and this party was bashing, and there's tons of people, and I go out to this bike, and it's a chopper too, and Sportster, and I hop on the bike, and I'm just worried that I'm not going to be able to start it, because these things had high compression. I jump on it, first kick, boom, boom, and people are still walking, going, nice bike, and I'm like, thanks. And I take off. My friends are going to be following me in my car, and they take a different turn or whatever, and I'm driving back to the apartment that we lived in. I'm going to other people's places, and I'm thinking, man, is this excellent? I'm singing Born to Be Wild, I'm feeling really cool. So I go, I gotta buy a bike. So in 1980, I buy a brand new Harley lowrider. And my older brother, who was 5 years older, he had a 68 Harley chopper, and when we were riding dirt bikes, or my friend bought a Kawasaki LTD 1000, it ran like a Swiss watch. This 68 Sportster looked like then came Bronson's with a 21-inch front wheel, and it looked cool and everything, but it was hard to start, and I just never thought I'd ever want a Harley because you're working on them and stuff. Well, when I rode that Sportster, I was like, I gotta get one of these. The first thing I did is went out and bought a new Harley. So then my younger brothers go, well, let me ride it. They rode it and they thought it was cool, and they wanted Harleys too. So I even lent them the money to buy their bikes. And actually, the second youngest brother, he bought the chopper that I was riding, but he ended up changing it from the 60s style bike, where you're king queen seat and leaning back. It was a hardtail. And the other brother bought a regular stock Sportster, but it was a 1000cc, and the chopper was only a 900cc. So the youngest brother, he's 5 years younger, he gets this 1000cc Sportster, and he thinks he's Joe Cool now. And he's hanging around with this other buddy of mine, and he's drinking. And they say you're not supposed to drink while you're riding motorcycles, plus smoking pot, and he's feeling Superman. And we kept telling him to chill out, but he was really good on dirt bikes. And he could ride wheelies, shift gears, all that stuff, and keep it on the balance point. And he's telling me that I'm, chill out, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Well, him and this other guy are going into a corner that's a 90-degree corner, and he's on the outside, and a gravel gets pushed out to the outside, and all of a sudden he's not being able to keep it on the real estate, and all of a sudden it just slides out, and he wipes out. But the bike goes off in the grass, no damage to the bike, but he had road rash on his face. I mean, his cheeks and his hands and his knees. And my sister was going to be getting married, and everybody's coming around and stuff, and I said to my other brother, I said, hey, let me ride that chopper. And because I did a bunch of fabrication for it. And then the youngest brother goes, I'll go with you. So we're supposed to be getting ready for this wedding, and he's got this big scab on his face, and he goes out, and we have this frontage road alongside of the freeway. And when he got out on the road right next to me, he's like, whoom, whoom. So I'm like, whoom, and it had a springer. So and so we're out on this frontage road, and it's a long straightaway, and everybody would test their cars and stuff on this stretch of road. We had a quarter-mile marked off. And he gassed it a couple times. This thing has a springer, so it's whoom, whoom, like this. And we both gas it at the same time, and then when you let off the shift and it has forward controls, this chopper would go down, and you hit second gear, and wham, it just springs back up, and I'm riding a wheelie, and he's power shifting. But the 58 Sportster was more high performance than the 1000cc, and I'm walking away from him, and he's giving her, and I'm like, you know, he's back there, and then he's really getting on it, and we're like even, and we're going faster and faster. And as you go faster, if you ever ride next to anybody on a motorcycle, you'll see that the wind manipulates your face, you know, it flexes the skin. But now we're going about 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden, the scab flies off of his face, and you just see him like Home Alone when the kid, you know, shaved and put that aftershave on it, and he's like, ah! And, you know, the scab was off, and, you know, it was a thick scab, and now it's all back to being bloody. We come back, and my sister's all upset because my brother's got this big old bloody hole on his face, and then we had to patch it up with gauze and tape it up.